Oh baby, next gen, you sure are one pain in the ass, and you are certainly a pain in the ass to these drivers. Alex Bowman, who was taken out of the car after his crash 2 weeks ago at Texas Motor Speedway, will not compete this weekend at the Charlotte Roval. He sat out last weekend at Talladega and will sit out this weekend. Noah Gragson will continue driving that 48 car, meaning that Alex Bowman will be eliminated from playoff contention. He already came into Charlotte Roval 12th in the standings, 50 some odd points below the cut line. And now with this announcement, he will no longer contend for a championship. The next question is will Bowman be able to return for the rest of the season? We already saw how one driver with one race turn out to be two races, turn out to be the entire half of the season. Could the same thing happen with Alex Bowman? We'll have to wait to find out and see. Now, obviously, last weekend at Talladega, safety was a huge discussion with the next gen car. You saw drivers like Chase Elliott offering his thoughts about it, talk about how it's possible that when a new product comes out, we've either stagnated or gone backwards in safety. You had Denny Hamlin being very vocal, talking about you need new leadership in the competition direction at NASCAR, not the executive position like with Steve Phelps, which Hamlin clarified during his post-race comments. There has been a lot of talk, certainly. And now with this announcement, it just further fuels the topic of safety issues with this new car. Now, NASCAR and other team owners have mentioned that they are working on it. They are working on solving. In fact, they're even scheduling, I believe, a test this weekend to crash test a new or improved version of a next-gen car to really see what causes all these head injuries and how to fix it for 2023. But time is of the essence, because in the day and age of spec racing, where teams have to buy out parts, they can no longer make the parts themselves. They have to wait for the approval from NASCAR in order to purchase these parts, and you have to do it fast, or else you're gonna have another situation like what we had earlier this year when you had a parts shortage. But they also should take a look at the front of the car, because Cody Ware, he suffered a hellacious accident at Texas Motor Speedway. He competed last weekend at Talladega, but will not compete this weekend at the Charlotte Roval. JJ Yeley will replace him. This weekend, I'm making the tough decision to step aside and support my team from outside the car. Given the extensive footwork required for a road course event, I don't feel I'll be able to give 100% effort to my team, my sponsors, or to Ford. I appreciate everyone's continued support and well wishes, and I can't wait to be back in action in Vegas. My recovery process is going great and I'm feeling stronger each day. Big thanks to JJ Yeley for filling in for me for this event. I'll be there pulling for you. So yeah, the big issue with the Texas crash was ankle injuries. I think it was injuries to his left ankle, I believe. Now with Talladega, doesn't matter, you're on the throttle the entire time, so Talladega was an issue. But obviously with how extensive and how much work you put on your legs at a road course event, especially the Charlotte Roval, it would not be the right decision, to say the least, for Cody Ware to continue racing this weekend. So he's making the right decision to step outside for this weekend to allow JJ Yeley to fill in the car. But man, when was the last time you saw this many drivers out of a race due to injuries? I mean, you have to go back to like what, in the 90s? I think that's the last time. I can't remember so many drivers being out of a race due to injuries. Kurt, concussion-like symptoms, Bowman, concussion-like symptoms, and Cody Ware with an ankle injury. Again, I know NASCAR, they're working on it, but please, for the love of God, in 2023, please do not let this happen again. Please, I'm gonna trust you, NASCAR. I'm gonna trust you. Please fix this for 2023. Honestly, with 2022, we got two more big races coming up, Vegas and Homestead. Martinsville shouldn't be that big of a deal. Maybe Phoenix. Phoenix can be a pretty fast racetrack depending on where you hit the wall, but Vegas and Homestead are very worried about that. I'm praying that nothing goes wrong. We can just end 2022 without any more injuries so that this car can be fixed and we can have a fresh, clean slate in 2023, and hopefully we don't have any more drivers on the injury list. Next up is Hailie Deegan, Camping World Truck Series driver for David Gillen Racing and every 10-year-old boy's version of a queen. If you don't believe me, go on her TikTok pages. The comments are just filled with simps. Regardless, still, she is a hot topic and we do need to talk about her because of her next career move. She announced today on social media that she will compete in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for her debut, driving for SS Green Light Racing. Now, she'll be driving the number 07 car. This will be a one-off appearance, and this is not surprising considering a couple weeks ago, Vince Welch on a broadcast, I'm pretty sure it said that Hailie Deegan will go Xfinity Racing this year, so it's not surprised by that. Now, she is technically in a race-winning car. I mean, pretty sure Cole Custer won in the 07 car earlier this year at Fontana, but she is a rookie. Goal, simple as always, just get as much experience as you can. Now, with that, more than likely, that may mean possibly, depending on how next year goes, we could see Hailie Deegan either A, make more Xfinity starts, or maybe make a full-time jump up to the Xfinity Series division. The question is she ready? Because she will be making Xfinity racing full-time. She is going to be in the Xfinity Series full-time, I believe, in the next few years. The question is, will she be ready? Because when you take a look at her stats, it doesn't really back up the case on whether or not she should even be competing in the Xfinity Series just yet. I mean, when you take a look at her 2022 results, only 2 times she's finished in the top 10 and has had an average finish of 22, which is actually worse than her rookie year last year. So it is quite interesting to hear about this decision to go Xfinity Series racing. Again, what happens in 2023 is up for debate. We don't know about that for sure, but I am very curious on the direction that Hailie Deegan's going in on, whether if she's ready to go Xfinity Series racing full time. Again, I know it's just one race, it's a one-off race, but the fact that she is even going Xfinity Series racing and that she is a big time name, I mean, she is very popular despite not even being a full-time Xfinity Series driver, makes you believe that more than likely she's going to be making the jump to Xfinity Series racing at some point in time in the very near future. The point that everyone wants to know is, will she be ready to make that jump? But regardless, me, like many others, are going to be very interested to seeing how will she do in her debut start at Las Vegas, mile-and-a-half racetrack. I think I'm just expecting a top 25 finish on the lead lap. I think that would be a successful day for Hailie Deegan. She can just lead all the laps, finish on the lead lap. I consider that a win. But what are your thoughts? What do you think about Hailie Deegan making the move to the Xfinity Series for a one-off appearance? How do you think she will do? Do you think she'll be ready for Xfinity Series racing maybe in 2023 or 2024? And your thoughts, of course, on the head injuries of the next-gen car. Do you think that NASCAR will be prepared for 2023? Or do you think we're going to see the same thing that what we saw in 2022 with very little progress being made and continue to see drivers get hurt? Very curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more content. Until next time, my name is Jet from MDK. Thanks for watching.